Good afternoon. All right, so how do you feel? Are you feeling down? Is your life being affected? Are you feeling tired, drained? Are you feeling loss of interest? Are you feeling more irritable? Are you having issues concentrating or sleeping? Are you feeling sad most every day? Having a little bit more anxiety? Having issues with sleeping? Yeah, well, it could be the season that you're in, okay? SAD, which is seasonal affective disorder, okay? During fall into winter, through winter, is when we generally see that people are diagnosed with SAD. That's what I'll call it. Again, seasonal affective disorder, also known as SAD. And it's almost debilitating through those months, okay? Now, there are some that experience SAD during spring and summer, but they're a rarity. They're not as much as the ones that are affected during, fall into winter. Now, why does this happen? What sets it apart from just, a little blue, you feeling blue or whatever, Well, here's what it is. When you're feeling down or blue, you normally feel it for the day and then we go on and everything is okay. It's raining. Oh man, that's a blue feeling. But when you're feeling this on an everyday basis or more days than not basis, and it's debilitating where it's affecting your work, your social life, your daily living, you find yourself binge eating. Like during the winter into fall, fall into winter especially, people such as myself tend to eat a little different. We're not getting outside and we're not exercising. We're more home inside and, staying warm, or it's snowing, or it's just not, we don't have the energy to get out, right? Well, this is very true, and there are clients that I have seen that, are truly affected for years, and they're only seeing it during certain time frames, like I just don't want to get out of bed. I just want to sleep all day. I don't have motivation for anything. I struggle with, just doing what I'm doing on a daily. I go to work and I don't enjoy it. I, don't want to go hang out with my friends. Like, your life can totally be taken over and it becomes debilitating to the point that it's the form of depression, okay? That seasonal affective disorder is one that, like I said, it will improve at the end of winter when we're getting into spring and summer for most. Now, there's some that, again, flip it around. They get it from spring into summer. It's a lot. So what causes this? What causes us to shut down and just become, over depressed during those times? What creates that depression on that level? It's confusing, Now, people that have been diagnosed with SAD generally learn, oh, okay, this is what happened last year, and they work with their healthcare professional, and they sometimes take antidepressants just during those months, and, they work through it, and that's great. But what causes it? Well, we have a few things, okay? First, the biological clock change, like, boom, everything flips, right? So it gets dark earlier and it's colder, and it's, just the season of life where it's darker. It feels like, to me sometimes, more than it is lighter. Now, I know that's not true, okay? But when it all shifts, your internal clock is actually out of sync, right? Like your mood, your sleep, your hormones, everything is shifted with that, okay? A lot of the problem being the lack of sunlight, okay? If people thrive off of brightness, people can thrive off of the warmth, people thrive off of that natural state of life. So when that happens and things are reversed, it just throws us off, okay? Also, let's talk about the brain chemicals, okay? Serotonin, okay? Serotonin is depleted more, and guess what? That's what's going to have us feeling our happiness is going to reflect down to a more sad way. Okay. Vitamin D deficiency. If you have a vitamin D deficiency, it becomes more prominent that you're going to be diagnosed with SAD. If we can figure out what that is, then you can help reverse that or improve these symptoms by simply just getting on a vitamin D regimen. And, some people take it just during the season. Okay. The melatonin difference in our body. Okay. The lack of sunlight may stimulate to where you're sluggish, okay, because sunlight, again, very vital for our bodies and our health and our mental health, and so it creates a problem. Another key component of why this happens is if you already have another diagnosis, if you have struggled with depression, if you have bipolar, if you are schizophrenic, or you have a medical condition such as lupus or something, an autoimmune disease, those things tend to already, weigh on our emotional and mental health. So those do increase the chances of being diagnosed with SAD. Okay. Now, not all that experience SAD are lost. Okay. It's not something that you can't work to fix. Okay. I've already talked a lot about, your mindset being a big priority. Well, when you go and you know that you have a diagnosis such as SAD, and you know that you've had the same symptoms every year for the last 5 years, then it helps to think about that early, before we get into those months, before we start that pattern of those feelings and symptoms. Okay. So what can we do to help? Again, let's improve our thought process. Let's start identifying what it truly is. It doesn't doom you, but it allows you to understand what's happening to your body. So it allows you to take measures to help, reduce the symptoms. A lot of people I have clients that just come during the winter. They just need that extra support during winter months. They need that talk therapy. They need that availability to share and with others, and to feel what they feel and be able just to express who they are and have that support. Another one that's really good, and I've seen more of it recently in years, is light therapy. If you can get into light therapy using a calming lamp, and they have these in locations, like there's actually just machines that you go get in, and it's light therapy. They have at-home light therapy. If you can get into that, it helps you create some of those natural melatonin, the vitamin D, gives you those same feelings, and it reduces what we consider those symptoms. Okay. What we have to look at when we're diagnosing and we go in and see what we're working with is we have to look at how your depression's hitting you. Is it hitting you all year? Is it hitting you just during the winter? Is it hitting you just during the summer? We have to look at all those indications and go from there, right? Sorry, guys. Okay, so we have to be aware of what's going on, and we have to know our bodies, right? So a lot of people don't relate SAD. I mean, they say where it's raining a lot and they're having a lot of that, or it snows all the time. Those places could experience more SAD diagnoses. However, I mean, even in Oklahoma, where we live, when the sun goes down, guys, I crash. Like, I'm ready for bed. I don't have the joy to be awake. I don't have the extra pep in my step, so to speak. And, the sun goes down, I want to go to bed. Okay. And I struggle with that myself. Now, the difference is that when we know that it's going to be happening, like I know every winter when it starts getting dark, I'm going to be like, whatever, you know. But I can be realistic to the idea that when I come home, I have to not just go to my bed. I have to engage myself with my friends. I have to engage myself with my family. Like, those are steps that I've learned that I have to do. I can't shut my down. So recluse in, I can't shut down. And you'll see that if you are just acknowledging that you are one that is affected by seasonal affective disorder, and you go through the process, you can make your healthcare team, let your doctor, they'll become aware, let your therapist, let everybody know that this is something that you've struggled with. It's easier to get that and then start working the process to heal yourself and make that time frame, that season of life easier. Okay. And it's one of those things where it's hard, for therapists to, for ourselves, like, I have to really say, okay, what's going on? How long's it been going on? I see that a lot of people are down on themselves more, and I see that, we're having some struggles more, and this is something that intensifies during certain seasons. It's really hard, and I'm going to touch base on it for a minute, but at this time of year where we have the option of holiday depression, is it seasonal affective disorder or is it holiday depression? Either way, it's a depression. So I'm going to hit on holiday depression, on a different video, but I want you to really just hone in and think, golly, is she saying something that makes sense? Is this what's going on with me? Am I just not wanting to get out of bed? Am I having trouble sleeping? Have I lost interest in doing what I, normally would do? Do I feel more anxiety? Do I feel sad every day? At some point in the day, like sun goes down, are you starting to think, oh man, getting sad, feeling, depressed? We have to really look into that. But if that's you, take that step to reach out. Because it's easier to go ahead and say, there's a fix. Let's go ahead and do it, right? It's easier to just focus on the positivity that will come out of it just by knowing, okay, there's hope. There's a possibility for change. This doesn't have to be this way, okay? So I really, we're in the season of life right now for, like I said, in Oklahoma, it's getting dark at 5:30, and by the time I walk out of the door at the office, it's 6:30, I'm like, but the positivity that I can say that I have is that, I have learned that this is what I do. I've noticed that, we all, like my mom, I think has it too. And they say it can be, hereditary. If you have family that has suffered with it, you could suffer with it more. They say if you've witnessed it, you could, be affected more. If it's around your environment, that's something that would be an indication that that's something that needs to be, looked at. But it's not something that you have to do all year long. If this is what you're looking at and this is where you're seeing it, I would honestly say just go ahead and reach out. Get the support, maybe try some light therapy, see if it helps. You really will see like light therapy, if you get into light therapy, they say that can help within like 2 to 4 days, and maybe you need to do it a couple times to get the full benefits, to work through the whole season, but it's worth a try, So if you have any questions about it, if you want to do any research on it, there's a lot of information that I don't think people are aware. But seasonal affective disorder, that's all you need to type in. And it also is called SAD. So if you type that in and it says SAD, go ahead and click it. So it'll say SAD, seasonal affective disorder. Check it out. See if that's something that's affecting you. See if maybe it's affecting your loved ones. See if it's affecting your friends. See what, the information is out there for you guys. Okay. I just want to thank you guys for watching. Remember, I will putting another video out about holiday depression because it's that time of year too. So thank you guys so much for watching. I appreciate it. And I hope you guys have a great day. And please remember to like, share, and subscribe. And I'll be back. Thanks.